this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a drop servicing website with WordPress. Now, what is drop servicing? Drop servicing, sometimes called service arbitrage, is an online business model where you sell a service to a client, then outsource the actual work to someone else and keep the profit. Here, you don't need to do the work yourself, you only manage the client and the delivery. So with drop servicing, a client pays you for a service, and what you need to do is hire a freelancer or agency to do the work for less. You deliver the work to the client, then your profit will be equal to what the client paid minus what you paid the freelancer. For example, a client pays you $500 for a website. You pay a freelancer $300, then you keep the $200 as your profit. Here are common drop servicing services you can offer. Take note, these are popular because they are in high demand and easy to outsource. We have website design, that is where you can use WordPress or Shopify, logo design and branding, SEO services, social media management, video editing, content writing and blog posts, email marketing, and many more. Now here's why drop servicing is attractive. In drop servicing, no technical skills is required. It has low startup cost, no inventory, you can work from anywhere, and it's easy to scale. Here, what you need to do is focus on marketing, sales, and client communication, and you don't have to execute anything. Now, how do you start drop servicing? To start a drop servicing, you need to choose one service. You don't have to start with many. Next, you find reliable freelancers on Fiverr, Upwork, or freelancer.com. You can even use local talent. When that is done, the next thing you want to do is create a website, which I will be showing you in this very tutorial. After creating your website, the next thing you want to focus on is getting clients. This is where you want to leverage cold emails and ads. When you get your first customer, then you go ahead and outsource the work, deliver and collect testimonials. In this very tutorial, I will be showing you how you can drop service YouTube thumbnails. You are free to choose any service you want. So with YouTube thumbnails, what you need to do is reach out to YouTubers and offer to design their thumbnails for them. One thing you want to do is order the service yourself so that you can show it to your clients as your work. Before we start building our website, let me first of all show you what you will get by the end of this tutorial. So by the end of this tutorial, this is the exact website we'll be creating in the tutorial. As you can see, if users land on the website, they can go to the important sections by clicking on any of the menu links right here. So if a user wants to go to the about section, all they need is click and they will be taken there. They can also go to the portfolio section where I'm showcasing my designs. They can also go to pricing. As you can see, they can also go to contact. Apart from these sections, we have other sections like the trust section, the how it works section, as well as the testimonial section. One thing you want to do on the landing page of your website is have so many call to action. So if users land on the website and they get to read what I have on my hero section, they can easily click on view packages to take them to the pricing section. That is where they are actually going to make the decision in order to buy my packages. So if I scroll up maybe to the about section, I also have a button that takes users to the pricing section. Even if I go to the end somewhere right here, which is a call to action, users can also click on view package and it will take them to the pricing section. Perfect. So take note that this website is going to have only the home page as the landing page. Any other pages you may want to have to do with your legal pages like the privacy policy and then terms and conditions pages. So let's see how the website works in action. If I click on view packages here and I decide to use any of these packages, here I'm setting 3 different packages and I'll be getting inspiration from the service I'll be choosing on Fiverr. So I have the starter package, growth package, and then domination package. And all the names I've given to my packages is as a result of what I want my customers to achieve. So if my customer is choosing a starter package, it means that they are looking for a solution which is best for new and small YouTubers If they want to choose the growth package, it means that they are serious and growing creators, and then the domination package is for pro and high volume YouTubers. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the growth package as an example. So if users land here, they will see the same information as on the pricing page. Take note, you see that I have this feature here where users can upload files. I'm using thumbnail design as an example. So I may want users to send me their images as well as information on how they want the thumbnails to look like, which they can easily type in Word document and attach it right here. So what I want to do is browse to select my files. Assuming I have my Word document here which contains information on how I want the thumbnail to look like, I select it. If I have other related images with regards to the thumbnails, I'll just go ahead and select them like this. Then I click on open and the uploads will start right here, as you can see. So I'm able to upload 3 of 10 files. Don't worry, I'll be showing you how you can increase the quantity if you want to do so. From here, I click on add to cart, then I view the cart. If you have a coupon code for your customers, they can apply it here. For now, let's go ahead and proceed to checkout. In here, they enter their billing information, select the particular payment gateway they want to use, then make sure they accept the terms and conditions and place order. I'm using an automated payment gateway, that is Paystack, and I'll be showing you how you can integrate that. So if you are in Africa, you may want to use Paystack to accept orders automatically. So I'm going to use card and I'll choose success as an example, then click on pay. Payment is successful and the customer will be redirected to the thank you page, as you can see right here. Perfect. So as a customer, I'll receive a message with regards to this order, and then the administrator, that is the owner of this website, will also receive a message with regards to the order. I'll be showing you how you can fulfill those orders later on in the tutorial. So that is it in a nutshell, what you will achieve by the end of this tutorial. So to make this website, we are going to use only free resources. The only thing you need to pay for is a domain name and a web hosting, which is a standard for every website. So if you like what you have seen and want to start your own drop servicing business, stick around and let's get started with the step-by-step tutorial. So to get started, let's first of all get our domain name and web hosting. To do that, I go over to dikupages.com/hostinger. Hit enter. You can also click on the very first link in the description down below, which will bring you to hostinger.com. When you land on hostinger.com, you notice that you can get a web hosting starting from $1.99. So if I go ahead and click on claim deal, it will bring me to the various packages where they have premium, business and cloud startup. And each one of them will have the number of websites you can create under them. Choosing any of these will depend upon your business requirement. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the business package, so I click on choose plan. From here, you go ahead and choose the period. At the moment, it is set to 48 months. And it should be noted that the higher you go, the lesser the cost. For this demonstration, I'm going to use 12 months. And then in here, under secure your domain, is where you choose a domain for your website. It should be noted that you will get a free domain for the first year. For this demonstration, I already have the domain I want to use, so I don't put anything here. Next thing I want to do is click on have a coupon code. And in here, if you enter this coupon code, SWADICO, at the moment you will be paying $53.88. If I apply, you see that I will be giving a 10% discount. And the total now stands at $48.49. I go ahead and click on continue. From here, the next thing you want to do is enter your billing details. Then go ahead and click on continue. Then next, you enter your payment details. When that is done, you'll be redirected to the Hostinger control panel. So that's it on how we get a domain name and web hosting on Hostinger. The next thing we want to do is install WordPress. To do that, I just go ahead and click on websites. Then from here, I click on add website. Then I choose WordPress. From here, I go ahead and enter in my login details. The WordPress admin email, I will leave the email I used to register on Hostinger. Then here, I go ahead and choose the password I want to use to open my website. I click on next. From here, you can choose to create your website with AI or use pre-built websites and themes. For this demonstration, I'll create a blank site. So I click on create blank site. It should be noted that when you happen not to select a domain name from the checkout page, you can equally do it from here. So if I enter Dikupages wp.com, you see that it's available. I can just go ahead and select it. Then I continue with the installation of WordPress. But since I have the domain I want to use, I'll just go ahead and click on use temporal domain and continue with the installation of WordPress. Now the installation is done and will be redirected to our WordPress dashboard. So that's it on how we install WordPress on our website. Now let's do some basic cleaning up and setting up. So I go over to post. By default, upon installing WordPress, we'll get this hello web post. We don't need it, so we go ahead and trash it. Next, we go over to pages. Then we trash this page, even though later on we'll be adding a privacy policy page. But let's just take this one off. Next, I go over to plugins. I don't need all these plugins. Maybe I'll need Lightspeed Cache, but not now. So what I'm going to do is select all. Then I go ahead and deactivate them. Click on apply. They are deactivated. I select them back. Then I uncheck Lightspeed Cache because I need it later. I go ahead and delete the rest. Okay. And they are gone. Next, I go over to settings. And this is where I enter the name of my website. I call it thumbnail. Tagline. I'll just go ahead and enter this. Going down, here you want to make sure that anyone can register is selected. Scrolling down, click on save changes. Next, I go to permalinks and make sure that it is set to post name. It's already selected, so I don't do anything here. The next thing I want to do is choose a theme for my website. Now if I go to the front end, this is how my website will look like, plain and boring. So I want to choose a theme that I can customize to fit my business needs. So I go back, then I go over to appearance. At the moment, these are the available themes we have, but we are not going to be using any of them. So I click on add theme. Under search themes, I search for Blocksy. I have Blocksy right here. Upon hover, I click on install. Then I go ahead and activate. Upon installing the Blocksy theme, you see that we have this notification that is install Blocksy Companion. This Blocksy Companion plugin will add additional functionality to the Blocksy theme. But before I install it, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and delete the rest of the themes I don't need. So I click on theme details, delete, okay. Theme details, delete, okay. Theme details, delete, okay. Now I'll go ahead and install the Blocksy Companion by clicking on this button. It is installed and it will take us to the Blocksy Companion dashboard. But before we do any other thing, let's go back to the front end and refresh. This is now the new look and feel of our website, still plain and boring. Going back, we go over to starter size. From here, we are going to be choosing a pre-made template, which is a complete website that we are going to install and customize it to meet our business needs. Now right here, you see that we have Pro. So before you can use some of them, you will need the Pro version of the Blocksy Companion plugin, but we are not going to be using any Pro features. So what I want to do is come over to plans, then I switch to free. So all the templates we have right here will be free for us to use. For this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and use web agency. So I just click on import and I'm going to choose Elementor. Then I click on next. I click on next and we'll be required to install these two plugins. That is Elementor plugin. That is the page builder we are going to be using in order to design the pages of our website. We also have WP Forms which is a contact form plugin that users can use in order to get in touch with you through your website. For this website, I don't need the form. I only want to put my email such that visitors can contact me through my email. So I deselect that, then I click on install. And now the installation has begun. You just have to wait for it to finish installing. This will take a moment depending upon how fast your internet connection is. Alright, starter site imported successfully and it has taken less than 30 seconds. Now if I go to the front end and refresh, this is how the new look and feel of our website will be. So we have imported a completely designed website. With this, we can customize it to fit our business needs. The next thing we want to do is customize our website. By customizing our website, we can change the logo here, also change the menu as well as the footer right here. So to do that, I go ahead and click on customize. From here, the first thing I want to do is work on the logo. So I just hover here and click on this icon. This is the current logo. I don't need it, so I just go ahead and take it off. Then I select a new logo, and this way I upload my logo. One thing I can do is that I can add all the images I want to be using on my website right here. So I have all the images here. I'll just select it, minus this file, which is a Word document. Then I drag and drop everything in here. I have my logo here. I select it. Then I click on select. It will appear right here. And you see that it's very tiny. What I can do is change the height here. At the moment it is set to 27. I'll make it 50 or maybe 60. I think 60 is cool. Awesome. Going down, I want to enable the site title, so I just enable this. And you see the name of my website here, and it has appeared. But I don't want it below the logo, so what I do is go down, then I choose left. I want it to be at the left side of the logo. Now upon hover, you see that I see this yellow color. I don't want to have a hover color, so what I do is go to design, then the hover color, I click on it, then I choose color 4. Now I don't see the hover color. Awesome. Next, let's work on the menu here. I just hover on it, then I click on the icon right here, or I can also come down here and click on menu. That is menu 1. The menu is using the default. I want to make sure it is set to main menu, and this is the main menu. Under top level options, at the moment type 2 is selected. That is why you have line under the active page. But for this, we are not going to be using actual pages. So what I do is I want to use type 1 so that I don't have the line under the pages. At the moment, I'm on desktop mode. Let me take it to mobile or tablet. And this is how my logo will look like. So what I want to do is change the logo height. At the moment it is 20. I will make it 40. I don't need the mobile menu. I'm not going to be using mobile menu. So I'll just take off all these. Or better still, I can take off the trigger so that people don't have to click on this. So I'll just take it off. Let's see it in mobile. Mobile too, I'll increase the size of the logo. Is very tiny. So I select it from here. Then I make it maybe this time around 35. Now let's take it back to desktop mode. And scrolling down to the footer, I'm going to go ahead and change it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is activate any of the footer by clicking here. And you see that footer is now activated. I don't really need the whole of this, and that's what I have here. So what I do is select middle row, then I'll go ahead and take it back to 1 column. So the rest of them will go except this. I'll just exit it. And you see that the menus on top here are gone. Next, let's customize the copyright. So I select the bottom row and I want to make it 2 columns so that the copyright will be at left side and I have some menu right here. So let me go ahead and customize the copyright by clicking on it. So I have copyright current year, which is 2026, and I'm going to go ahead and add the name of my website. So instead of typing thumbnail as the name of my website, I can also take it off and say that open curly brackets, then I enter site underscore title, then I close it up with curly brackets, and this will pull in the site title. So anytime I change the name of my website, it will appear here automatically. I provide space. Maybe I don't need the whole of this. If you are designing the website for a customer, you can say designed by, then you bring the name of your business or your web agency. You can also link it to your website by highlighting it, click on insert link, then you enter the link to your website right here. If you want users to open it in a new tab, you click on the gear icon, select open link in a new tab, then update, and we have it right here. Perfect. Looking at the text, it is in the middle of the widget. So what I want to do is under horizontal, I choose align left. Going down, I'll make it centered. This side, I'm going to go ahead and add a menu. So what I do is go back. I have menu right here. I select it, then I drag it in here. At the moment, I don't have a menu, so it will pull some of the pages I have on my website. But I'm going to go ahead and choose a particular menu for it. But before I do that, let me customize it. So I just go ahead and click on it. You see that if I try to select a menu, I only have the main menu or the default menu. Going down, I want it at the right side, and I will center it. Now let me go ahead and create a menu for it. So I go back, then I scroll down to menus. Before we even create this menu, let's first of all create the top menu, that is the main menu. So I have it right here, which is already created by default. I select it. What I need to do is remove the pages I don't want. So I just drop down the arrow here, going down, remove. I do the same thing here, going down, remove. I'll leave only home. Now let me go ahead and add the other links. They are only going to be links. So what I do is click on add items, then I go over to custom links. The first one is going to be about. So what I do is I'll copy the link of my website, including the /. So I'll just highlight it and copy it. I paste it in here. Then I enter hashtag. Then I go ahead and type in about. So the link title will be about. Make sure the first letter is capital, something like that. With this, we'll be adding something on our home page so that when people click on the about link on the main menu, it will take them to a particular section of our website where we will be specifying ourselves. So I click on add to menu. Next, I'll paste in the link again, which is still copied to clipboard. Add hashtag, then I enter portfolio. In here, I type in portfolio. Then I click on add to menu. Next, I paste in the link again, hashtag, then I say pricing. In here, I enter pricing as the name of the menu. Click on add to menu. And finally, I paste in the link again, hashtag contact. The link text, I enter contact, add to menu. Perfect. The menu we are assigning to the header menu 1. We don't want it on mobile menu, so we just deselect this. Going back, let's add a new menu that is for the footer. So I click on create new menu, then I name it footer menu. I click on next. At the moment it's not having any items, so I click on add items. The first thing I'm going to add is the home page. So I drop down here and choose home. The rest are going to be pages which I don't have on my website as yet, but we can create them just by adding the name of the page here. So the first one is going to be privacy. I click on add. So this is going to be a menu. At the same time, it will be a page on our website. Next, I add themes. Click on add. This is an easy way of adding pages to your website at the same time making them a menu. I will go ahead and publish to save my work. Now if I come down here and select this icon, then select menu, I drop down the arrow. You see that I don't have my footer menu, so what I do is just refresh the page. Going down, I select it, then it will take me to menu. I drop down the arrow and you see that I now have my footer menu. I select it and it will appear down here. Perfect. One thing I want to add is scroll to top, so I go back, then I go over to general. I have scroll to top here, which is not enabled. I enable it, then I click on this small arrow to customize it. You can choose any of these arrow styles you want. So this is how it will look like. If you want to customize it by changing the colors, you can go over to design. I just want to change the hover color, so I click on it, then I choose this yellow color. So if I hover, the color will change. Awesome. One thing I want to do is go back, then I scroll down to site identity. I'm going to go ahead and add a site icon. So I click on select site icon, and I'll use the same logo. Select it, click on select. Take note, site icon is the small icon you see right here. You see as it has changed. I click on publish, and we'll be coming back to the theme customizer later on in the tutorial. I exit from here, and now we are done customizing our website. Perfect. At the moment, when we click on our menu links, it won't show anything because we have not directed the links to any of the sections on our page. I will show you that in a moment. The next thing we want to do is design our home page. Take note, this website we are going to be creating is only having the home page. Any other pages we will be having on the website has to do with the products we'll be adding onto our website, apart from privacy policy and terms and conditions pages. So let's go ahead and design our home page. To do that, make sure you are on the home page, then you click on edit with Elementor. In here, I exit from here and here as well. So the first thing we are going to do is design our hero section. First of all, let's take care of the background. Upon hover, I click on edit container right here. From here, I click on style. Then I'm going to go ahead and change this image. I just click on it, and this is the image I'm going to use. I select it, then I click on select. Now if you look at the image, at the corners is rounded. I don't want it rounded, so what I do is scroll down to border, just click on it, and here you see I have 25. I'll just take it off, and the roundness is gone. You see that my text is not appearing well, so what I want to do is add a background overlay here. So I click on background overlay, I click on color icon here, then I choose my color 4. At the moment, the opacity is set to 0.3. I want to make it 0.7. And now my text is appearing well. Next thing I want to do is add my text. So I select this, and this is where I enter my text. If you want to change the size, you can come over to style, then click on the pencil icon here under typography, then you can change the size from here. As you can see, for this it's 80. I'm going to maintain it as such. Next, I edit this text. I just select it, then I go ahead and enter in my text. Next, I have this button right here. I select it, and this is where I change the text. I'll say view packages. And when you just click on it, I want them to go to this particular section, that is the pricing section. So what I'm going to do is just enter pricing like this. And what I do here is select this entire section like this. Then I go over to advanced. Under CSS ID, I enter pricing. So this time around, there's no going to be a hashtag. Now if I go back and click on the button, it will take me to the pricing section. Awesome. I don't need this icon here. I'll just take it off. Right click, click on delete, and it's gone. And now we are done with our hero section. We can publish to update our work. Let's take a look. And now this is how our new hero section will look like. Perfect. Going back, the next section we are going to look at is this section, and I'm going to use it for the about section. So what I'm going to do is take off all of these elements here. So I'll just right click here, delete, and this one I'll just right click on the pencil icon here because I need the section or the container. So I have the container right here. What I'm going to do is I select the container right here, and under layout you see that the width is set to 26. I'm going to make it 50. Now if I go to advanced, the padding top is set to 100. I'll make it 0. Here I'm going to go ahead and add an image to it, and I'm going to apply it to the background. So I just make sure the container is selected. Then I come over to style. This way I choose my image. Going down, I'll use this image as an example. Click on select. This is how it will look like. Scrolling down, the position, I want to make it center, and then the size, that is display size, I choose cover. Next, I go back to layout. The minimum height, I will make it 600. Now let me go ahead and change this text. So in here, I just select it, then I make it who we are. I select this and I change it to about thumbnail, and this way I enter the actual about content. I select it, then I go ahead and enter in my text. Next is the button. I select it, then I make it view packages, and I'm going to link it to the pricing section. So I just type in pricing. So if users click, it will take them to the pricing section. Awesome. And now we are done with the about section. Maybe what I can do is apply some border radius here. So I select the container here, then I go to style. Going down, I have border radius, I enter 25. Perfect. Let me see it in action. Awesome. The next section, we are going to create it ourselves. However, we need this section, so I'm going to go ahead and add a new section here. So I click on the plus icon, then I click on add section flexbox, and I'm going to select the double column structure. I go over to add element, and I'm going to add an image here. I click in here to choose my image. This is the image I want to use. I select it, then I click on select. I go to style, then border radius, I make it 25. Next, I add a new element, and I'm going to add a heading. I enter in my heading here. Next, I add another element, and this time around I search for list, and this is what I'm going to use, icon list. So I drag it under the heading here. I want to use the check mark, so I'll go ahead and take the rest of the two off. Then I duplicate this to the number I want. So I want about 5 of them, like this. The first one, I select it, then I go ahead and enter in the text. Similarly, I do the same thing for the rest of them. Alright, I've entered all of them. Next, I go back to element, and I'm dragging in the text editor just under the list. Then I go ahead and enter in my text. I'll select it, then I make it italics. What I want to do is add some spacing here. So I select the entire container here, then I go over to advanced. Under padding, I unlink the values, and then left, I will make it 50. Maybe in here I can add a button as well. So I'll just copy this button right here. Copy. Come down here, right click, click on paste. So this one too will be linked to the packages. Awesome. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that whole of these elements are in the middle of the image. So I select the entire container right here. Then I go to layout. Under align items, I choose center. What I want to do next is add spacing in between this section and this. So it's still selected. I go over to advanced. Under margin, I unlink the values bottom I'll make it 100. Now this is looking clean. So this section is done. The next section, we are going to go ahead and add our portfolio right here. So what I'm going to do is take off the whole of these columns, then I'll add in my own column. So I right click, click on delete, right click, delete, right click, delete. So I've deleted everything, and what I want to do is add in a new container just under this text. Next, I go over to elements, then I search for gallery. I have basic gallery here. I'll just drag it and drop it in here. I click add photos to choose my gallery. I'm using this, and that. So you can add as many images as you want. I just want to use 4. You can also rearrange them just the way you want. Then click on insert gallery. The columns is 4. I'll change it to 2. The image resolution, I want to make it full. You see that I don't have spacing in between the images. So I go over to style, and the gap, I drop down the arrow and I choose custom. By default, it will give us 15 pixels. I'll make it 20. Then border radius, I enter 25. Awesome. I want to change the text here, the heading. So I select our case studies. Instead of our case studies, I'll make it our portfolio. If you have some little text, you can add it right here. I'll leave this dummy text for now. Next, I'm going to add in a section in between the portfolio and then the pricing sections. So I click on the plus icon right here. I click on the plus here, then I choose Flexbox. I'm going to choose the first one. What I do is go over to add element, then I drag in the heading element. In here, I enter my text. I'll see how it works. I go to style, and I go ahead and center it. The next text, I need something like this, which is just the text editor. Take note, this one is in the pricing section. So I'll just right click on it, click on copy. Then I right click on the heading here, click on paste so that it will appear under it. Then the text, I'll enter 3 simple steps. It is bold. I don't need it bold. I just select it and I click on bold. Next thing I want to do is add in a container. So I go back to add elements, and I'm going to go ahead and drag in the container right under the 3 simple steps. The container, I'll make the direction row horizontal. Next, I go over to add elements, and I'm going to search for icon box. I have icon box right here. I drag it, then I drop it in here. In here, and the title, I enter my heading, and this way I enter the description. The icon, I'll choose something related to video. So I'll search in here, and I say video. I'll select this, then I click on insert. Next, I go over to style. The icon, I'll change the color to color 1. Next, I go over to content. The typography and the title, I'll click on the pencil arrow, then I make it 25. Next, I go over to advanced, and the padding, I unlink the values. Top, I'll make it 50. Right will be 20, bottom 50, and then left 20. And this is how it will look like. I collapse layout, then I go over to border. The border type, I'm going to choose solid. Then the border width, I'll make it 1. Border radius will be 25. And this is how it will look like. Maybe I want to change the border color. So border color is right here. I click on the globe icon, then I choose color 6 to make it lighter. It's too light. I'll change it back to maybe color 5. I think color 5 is cool. What I want to do next is just right click on this, duplicate, right click, duplicate. Then I go ahead and enter in the text for the rest of the steps. Alright, I've entered my text. The next thing I want to do is select the entire container here. Then I go over to advanced. Under margin, I unlink the values. Bottom, I want to add some space, so I make it 100. Perfect. And now we are done with the how it works section. The next section we want to look at is the pricing section. So I'll leave the rest of the text here. The only one I change is this one. I'll go ahead and enter in my text. Now let's work on the actual prices. So this one, we are going to take inspiration from a service on Fiverr. So let me go over to Fiverr, because that is where we'll be getting our service provider from. So I enter fiverr.com. Now if I scroll down a bit, you see this heading, and this is where you can choose the particular service you want. So if I hover on graphics and design, you will get a whole lot of different designs to choose from, where you can choose from logo design, website design, book design, and many other services. If you are interested in programming and tech, you can come right here and you have different services to choose from. Similarly, you can go to the rest of the headings here and choose a service from there. But if you just know the particular service you want to go to, you can come over to the search bar here and search for it. For this demonstration, we are going to concentrate on YouTube thumbnails. So I'll just go ahead and type it in and hit enter. And you see that I have results for YouTube thumbnail. And these are the various service providers where you can get YouTube thumbnails from. So what you want to do is come right here. You can choose a category. You can also choose service options. You can also narrow down your search based on seller details. So if you want top rated sellers or level 2 sellers, you can go ahead and select them. You can also search based on budget. So from here, you can go ahead and open any of these thumbnail providers. This particular provider caught my attention, so I'm going to use this. I can exit out of here for now. Now if we go back to our pricing, let's see what we'll be looking for. So the plans are basic, standard, and then premium. And right here we have basic, standard, premium. So you can just go ahead and maintain them. For this demonstration, I have different names I want to give to them. So for the basic, I'm going to use starter. So I'll just select in here. Then I'll go ahead and change it. So I'll call it starter package. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in a text editor under the title. So I click on add element. Then I drag in text editor just under the title. Now if I go back to the service provider, I can actually use this title right here, or maybe this. But I don't want to copy directly from the service provider or directly from Fiverr. So I'm going to use my own text. So I come in here, and this is the text I want to use. Best for new and small YouTubers. So what I can do is I'll right click on this, copy, then right click right here, click on paste. I do the same thing here. Click on paste. For the first package, I'm going to change the price, and this is the amount the service provider is selling the service. That is one thumbnail for $10. And I'm going to go ahead and add a 50% profit margin. 50% of $10 is going to be $5. So if I add it back to the $10, it will give me $15 per design. So in here, I just select it, then I make it 15. Next, I'll enter in the various features. So I come here. The first one I'm going to capture is one thumbnail. I select this, then I go ahead and edit it to one thumbnail. Going back, I'll say image sourcing. I paste it in here. I want to use check mark for all of them. So what I'm going to do is take off this. I'll just right click and delete it. I don't need that. Going back, it's going to be custom design images. Sorry, here. I select this, and I'm going to duplicate it, just edit it to fit what I need. Going back, now I want users to know that it's a 1-day delivery, or it can be delivered within a day. So I'll add another item, then I go ahead and enter it in here. Going back, it's going to be unlimited revisions. Maybe for one design, I'll say it's 2 revisions. So instead of unlimited, I'll make it 2 revisions. So I enter 2 right here. Perfect. What I want to do is add space in between the list and then the button. So the list is selected, I go to advanced. Under margin, I unlink the values, then bottom, I make it 50. Now let's go to the next price or next package. So I select this and I'm going to call it growth package. I'll change this text right here. I'm going to say for serious and growing creators, the price, I'll go to standard right here. So the price is 45 and 50% of it is going to be $22.50. So I'll just add $22 to the 45, making $67. So I come right here and change it to 67. Then the features here, I'll just copy it. It's just going to be the same for the rest. So I'll right click in here, click on paste. I'll just paste it for here as well. Then I go ahead and delete this one. Just right click on it, delete this one as well. Perfect. Now let me go ahead and get the actual details. So I go back to the designer. So this one, customers will get 5 thumbnail designs. So I come in here, click on it. So instead of 1, it will be 5. The rest are going to be the same except 1-day delivery and 2 revisions. So here is 4-day delivery. So I make sure it's 4 instead of 1 day. And then the revisions is unlimited. So I'll use the same thing. And finally, the premium package, I'll change the name here. I'll call it domination package. And the text here, I change it to this. Now the price for premium is 90. So I'll add 50% margin. 50% of 90 will be $45. So I'll add back $45 to the 90, making it $135. I'll just say it's 120. Maybe I don't want to use the whole of the 50%. So I come in here, or maybe instead of 120, I can say 127. I select this, then the number of thumbnails is going to be 10 instead of 1. Let's confirm. Okay, so it's 10. And the delivery is 6 days. So if I want to be at a good side, I can say it's 7 days so that my customers will not put pressure on me. So delivery is going to be 7-day delivery. And then revisions will be unlimited. And now we are done with the pricing section. The next section, we don't actually need the theme section. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. Just right click and click on delete and do the same thing here. Perfect. Now let's go to testimonial section. We will need this section. At the moment it's showing 3 testimonials. I'm going to go ahead and make it 3. So what I do is I'll just right click on any of them and I click on duplicate. And this way you can enter the actual testimonials. When you select any of them, if the client is having an image, you can select it, then enter the name as the title, and then the description as the actual testimonial. For this, I'll leave the demo content for now. Next, you may want to add this trust section so that you feature some of your best customers here. Then maybe the amount of projects you have worked on. I'll select this one. Instead of 200, I'll make it 159. And I don't need this plus. So instead of trusted companies, I'll say trusted YouTubers. And this, they are just images. If you want to change any of them, you just select it from here and you go ahead and choose your image. I will leave the dummy ones for now. Next, let's work on this call to action section. So first thing I do is select this, and this way I change the text. Ready to get more clicks on YouTube. So this one too, I'll change it to something else. Then the button get in touch, I'm going to change it to view packages. And take note, the link is set to pricing. So I'll enter pricing here. Now if users click on it, it will take them to the pricing section. Awesome. Next, we have blog posts. I don't need blog posts, but you can use it to generate more traffic to your website. This is just going to be a minimalistic website, so I don't really need blog posts. The last thing I want to add here is contact information. So what I'm going to do is go to the back end. Remember when we imported our pre-made template, we had some pages right here. Part of it was contact, but now we are not using that particular contact page. So what I'm going to do is go back to my back end. Then I go over to pages. The reason why I'm going to pages is that I want to pick some element on the contact page. So right here is the contact. What I do is I'll just right click on edit with Elementor, open link in a new tab. I want to pick a particular section from the contact page. So this is the section I need, just this section where I will have my contact information. For physical address, it's not really mandatory, so you don't really need that. What I do is I'll just right click here, that is edit section. Then I click on copy. I come back in here to the end, just right click right here, then click on paste. There's this element here is for breadcrumb. I don't need that. I'll just right click on it, then I take it off. If you want to change the text here, you can go ahead and do that just by selecting it and do the change from here. And this way I enter the actual information to my contact details. So if you want to change it, just click in here, then this way you enter them respectively. What I want to do is, if I collapse the panel here, you see that I have border radius here. I don't really need that, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off just by selecting the container here. Then I go over to style, scrolling down to border. You see that the border radius is set to 25. I'll just take it off. And now we are done designing our home page. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and link these menus to their respective sections. So if I come here now, if I click on about, it won't take me anywhere because I've not linked it to the about section yet. Take note, before you can get the link, you hover on it, and right here at the corner you see that I have my website URL / and then about. So what I do is come here, just select the entire section, then go over to advanced, scrolling down to CSS ID, just go ahead and enter in the link just by saying about. So now if users click on this link, it should take them to this section. Next is portfolio. So we scroll down to the portfolio section right here. I select the entire container, then I go over to advanced. The CSS ID is going to be portfolio. Take note, whatever you are entering here will depend upon what you specified when you were creating your menu links. Next is pricing, and I think pricing, we already have it there. So if I click in here, then I go over to advanced, we already have pricing simply because we link it to this button here. Perfect. Finally, we have contact. So I scroll down to the contact section and I select the entire section right here. Make sure I go to advanced, then right here under CSS ID I enter contact. Now let's publish. Meanwhile, I can exit from here and here as well. Take note, what you want to do here is make sure you save the URL to the particular service provider. so that you won't lose the page. You can just copy the whole of this and keep it somewhere. I'll exit from here for now. So from the home page, if I click on About, it will take me to the About section, Portfolio, Pricing, and then Contacts. So it doesn't matter which part of the page you are on. So if I want to go to About, if I click, it will quickly take me there. Perfect. So now we are done designing our home page. The next thing we want to do is add the actual services so that people can click on Get Started to go ahead and buy any of these packages we have. For this, we are going to be using WooCommerce, which is the best solution for online stores. To do that, I'll still leave this page. I will need it later on. So to install WooCommerce, I go to the back end of my website. Then I go over to Plugins, click on Add Plugin. Under Search Plugins, I search for WooCommerce. I have WooCommerce right here. I click on Install now. It is installed. I click on Activate, and it will take us to the WooCommerce setup. I'm not going to go ahead and set it up. I'll just skip this guided setup. Under Select Country Origin, I'll choose my country. So I'm from the northern part of Ghana. I select it, then I click on Go to my store, and it will take me to the back end of my website under WooCommerce. What I want to do is go ahead and set up WooCommerce. I'm just going to do some basic setup related to our business. So I click on Settings. From here, I'll enter in my address. Going down, I'm going to be selling to all countries since it's going to be digital products. There's not going to be shipping, so I can just go ahead and disable shipping. Going down, if you want to enable taxes, this is where you want to do it. I'll just do everything inclusive of tax. And the currency, because I selected Ghana, that's why it's giving me Ghana cedis. If you want to change it, this way you do that. All is set. I click on Save Changes. Next, I go over to Payments. And this way we are going to be enabling a payment gateway in order to accept payment from our customers. Right here, because I'm in Ghana, it's suggesting to me the particular payment gateway I can use to accept payment, which is Paystack in my case. So whichever country you'll be selecting, they'll be giving you the appropriate payment gateway. So I'll just go ahead and install it. It is installed. I click on Complete Setup. At the moment, it's not enabled, so I'll go ahead and enable it. And I'm going to go ahead and use test mode. Take note, with this, I'll be able to accept credit and debit cards. So what I do is go over to Paystack. Then I'll go over to Settings. I choose API keys and webhooks. This particular section here is for live mode. I'm going to use test mode, so I scroll down to test mode section. From here, I go ahead and copy my test secret key. This is it here. I'll just copy it. Then I'll go back to WooCommerce settings. Going down, test secret key. This way I paste it. Then test public key. I come back right here. This is the test public key. I select it. Sorry, I copy it. And I come back here and paste it. And what I want to do is the payment option. I want to set it to pop up so that users don't have to leave my website in order to make payments. Next thing I do is copy the whole of this URL. Just copy it and come back to Paystack. Then this way I paste it. Then I click on Save Changes. Now Paystack is active. What I do now here is go down and click on Save Changes. So with this, users can be able to buy and pay on my website directly. Next, I go over to Accounts and Privacy. I want to disable Enable Guest Checkout. And then I go ahead and enable login during checkout. I also enable account creation during checkout. Then I don't want to send users password reset link. And I want users to use their email addresses as the login. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. Next, I go over to emails. These emails right here, new order email, cancel order email, and fail order emails. You need to make sure you set it to your business email. So to do that, just go over to manage. Then you enter your professional business email right here, which you can also create in your web hosting platform. So I'll just go back to emails. Then scrolling down, right here, you want to make sure that the from name is set to your business name And then the from email address is also set your professional address. You can add in a logo here, which we already have. This is our logo. I think this is the original one. I select it. Then the logo width, instead of 120, I want to change it to 90. I just want it to be small. Going down here, I can also set this particular color here to my website colors. So what I can do is come back to the front end of my website. I can just pick my color from here. I have a color picker, and I'll just select it. Then I come right here and pick the color. Going back, I just go ahead and paste it in here. Perfect. Scrolling down, I click on save changes. So if I go down, this is how our WooCommerce messages will look like when people order. Next, let's go over to site visibility. At the moment, it is said that our store is coming soon. So we want to make it live so that users can actually go ahead and buy our products or our packages. So I click on save changes. Then finally, I go to advanced. Here, you want to make sure that cart is set to cart right here. Checkout is checkout. My account is my account. And then terms and conditions, you want to make sure that you pop in your terms and conditions page right here, which I have here. Remember, we created it earlier. Then I click on save changes. So these are the basic settings we want to do on WooCommerce. We've added our terms and conditions page. Let's assign our privacy policy page to our website. So I come over to settings, then I click on privacy. So at the moment, we don't have privacy policy page set yet. I'll just drop down the arrow. Remember, we created a page called privacy. You also see privacy policy because we have installed WooCommerce. We don't need this one. So we choose our privacy page, then click on use this page, so that users will be able to see the privacy policy and then the terms and conditions when they are checking out. Now that we are done setting up WooCommerce, let's go ahead and create the actual packages. So to do that, I go over to products, I click on add new product. And we are going to be picking the names from what we have here. Or let me just come to the front end here. Okay, so the first one is going to be starter package. I'll just copy it. I come back right here, then I go ahead and paste in the title. I'm not going to put anything under product description because before the client will make a purchase, they might have already seen all what they needed from the home page. So coming back right here, the product data we make sure is set to simple product, and it's going to be virtual because we are not going to be dealing with shipping. Now if I untick virtual, you see that we have shipping here. If I click on it, shipping is gone. That means that we are not going to be talking about shipping. And here on the regular price, I enter the price I have in the front end, which is going to be $15. Sorry, 15 Ghana. In my case, I'm actually using cedis. So just maintain that. So I'll use 15. And then inventory. We are not going to be managing inventory. But what we want to do is make sure that sold individually is enabled so that users will be able to purchase one item at a time. If you don't enable this, it means that users can increase the quantity they want to buy. But for these particular services, we want them to buy one at a time. You can leave it as you want depending upon your business model. Next, under product short description, I actually want to enter something here, and I'll be picking it from the front end like this. First of all, I will select this, copy it, come back here, then I go ahead and paste, hit enter. Going back, I select the whole of this, copy, come back here, paste. Going up, I'll go ahead and publish. I can exit from here for now. It is published. Let's view it. And this is how it will look like. Maybe we can add in an image here. So going back, so this way I set the image. I'm going to pick one of my thumbnails as an example. So I click on update. Now let's take a look, and this is how it will look like. Don't worry, we'll be customizing the product page later on. Let's go back and add the rest of the two packages. So what I'm going to do is I'll just make a copy of this particular product. So I click on copy to new draft. So this is now a new product. I'm going to change the title from here. I'll exit this one for now. So the title is growth package. Come back right here, paste, and you need to make sure the URL is changed. So you click on edit here and take this one off. Going down, we change the price, which is going to be 67. And this way we enter the product description. This one is different from the first one, so we need to change it. So this one, I copy it, paste, and I come back and copy the rest of the features, paste. I'll maintain the thumbnail and everything is set. I click on publish. So the growth package is created. I'll copy to a new draft again to enter the final package. So I'll go ahead and copy the name, come back in here, then I change the name and then edit. I take this one off. Going down, I change the price, so it's going to be 127. Going down, I change this, so I copy it from here, paste, and I copy the rest of the features. Awesome. Then I'll go ahead and publish. Now that we have all our products, what we want to do is come over to all products and the starter package. If you hover on it, just like that, you see view. So this one, when you click, it will take you to the actual product page. So what I want to do is right click on it, copy link address, then I come back to my Elementor editor. Then take note is the starter package. So I select the button here, the link, I'll just go ahead and paste it in. Going back, I do the same thing. The growth package, I right click on view, copy link address, come back in here, select the button, then I go ahead and paste it in. Make sure you remove the hashtag. And finally, domination package, right click, copy link address, come back in here, select the button, then you go ahead and paste. Now let's publish. Let's take a look. So we are done editing in Elementor. I can exit from here. So if users land on my website, they can go over to view packages here or click on pricing here. Either way to take them to the same place. So if they want to buy any of these packages, maybe the growth package, they click on get started. It will take them to the particular product. So now let's go ahead and customize this page so that it will look appealing. We don't really need these related products. So let's click on customize. Make sure you are on the product page. Inside the theme customizer, we scroll to WooCommerce, then we click on single product and categorize. The first thing we are going to look at is the title here. We don't need it. So what we want to do is come over to product title. Then we disable breadcrumbs. You see that it's gone. Going back, at the moment our page structure is set to normal width. That's why it's very wide. I want to make it narrow width. Going down, I go to product gallery, just the small arrow, and then the image ratio, I'm going to make it original so that it will be very tiny. Then going back, this category right here, we don't need it. So what we want to do is come over to product elements, that is the arrow. Then we have method right here, just click on the eye icon to disable it. Now if we scroll down, related products, we don't need it. So what I do is go back, we have related and upsells. I'll just disable it from here. Now I want to add a cart icon here so that user can easily use it to check out when they happen to miss the product page. So to do that, I go over to header and see that I have cart right here. I'll just drag it and drop it in between account and button, and it will be displayed right here. To customize it, all what you need to do is just click on it and you can choose the particular cart icon you want. I don't want to see the amount So what I can do is come over to label visibility. You see that it is enabled for all devices. If I click on desktop, you see that it's gone. So I want to take it off for the rest of the devices. Next thing I want to do is hide empty cart. So if the cart is empty, people shouldn't see it, as you can see right here. So it's gone. I'll go ahead and publish, then I exit from here. So this is how our product page will look like, and this is looking cool. Now the next thing I want to do is take off some of the pages on the website which I don't need. Remember when we installed the pre-made template, we had the about page, services page, as well as contact page. So let's go ahead and take them off. So I go to the back end, then I click on pages. So we have about, blog. We don't also need contact. Take note, this is the privacy policy we created ourselves. So this one is draft. We don't need it. This one came as a result of installing WooCommerce. We don't also need refunds and returns, unless of course you want to have something like that on your website. We don't need services. Take note, for shop, you will need the shop page since we are using WooCommerce. So I'll just go to bulk actions, move to trash, apply. What we can also do is go over to post. Remember, the template came with some blog posts. We don't need them. So I just go ahead and select all, move to trash, apply. Take note, you can equally go to the trash and empty it. One other thing you want to do is come over to media. Remember, there are some images on the website you won't need. Those are not your images. As you can see, we have plenty of them. So you go through and delete the ones you don't want. So going back to the front end. Now, right here, if users try to buy this particular package, you see that we don't have the feature through which they can send their images to us. When we are going to design their thumbnails, we will need their images. So we don't have the feature here whereby they can upload their images. Also, if they want to specify the way the thumbnail should look like, they should also give us the information in the form of a text. So we want to be able to add a feature here whereby they can upload a file to us where we can get the information we need to design their thumbnails or whatever services you want to render. So for this, we are going to install a plugin. To do that, I'll go to the back end, then I'll hover on plugins, click on add plugin. Under search plugins, I search for multiple file upload. And this is the plugin I'm going to use, drag and drop multiple file upload for WooCommerce. So I click on install now. Then I go ahead and activate. It is activated successfully. Now if I go to the front end, to my product and refresh, we should be able to get this feature right here where users can click in order to upload a file. With this, they can be able to upload images as well as text files. So all what they want to see on their thumbnail, they can describe everything in a Word document and upload it right here. Now if I go to the back end, then I go over to WooCommerce, click on settings. You see we have file uploads right here. We are seeing this feature as a result of the plugin we just installed. So if you want to customize it or change anything, you can go to file uploads here. And this way you can actually change the text. So for instance, if you want to change the drag and drop text, which is here, you just need to type what you want. So I can say upload files, something like that. If I scroll down and save, then I come back to the front end. So instead of drag and drop files here, if I refresh, it will now be upload files. Going back here, I want to mention two important features. For instance, the number of files you can upload, that is maximum file upload. So at the moment it is set to 10 by default. So whatever maximum you want, if you want them to upload 50 files, you can go ahead and specify it in. I'll just leave the default. If you also want to enter minimum number of files they can upload, you can enter it right here. I'll leave the default. So this is one feature I want to mention. Another one is supported file types. So this is where you want to specify the kind of files you want your customers to be uploading. So if you want them to upload JPEG, JPG, PNG, GIF, and then SVG, you can specify them. If you also want them to upload Word document, you need to enter DOCX. So this represents document, or you can just say doc, depending upon the kind of Microsoft Word version you are using. For this, I'll just leave it as empty, which means that they can upload any file they want. All is set. I click on Save Changes. Now, let's go ahead and test our product. So if users come right here, they want to upload a file. So I'll just click on Browse. Maybe they have described everything about their thumbnails in a Word document. They will select it. If they have some additional images, they will just go ahead and select as well. So I'm selecting 4 items, then I click on Open, and you see all of them being uploaded right here. Now you see that we have uploaded 4 of 10 items. I click on Add to Cart. I view the cart, and they will see all what they have uploaded. Click on Proceed to Checkout, and right here they will see everything as well. So as a customer, I'll just go ahead and enter in my billing details. Now right here you see that my payment gateway is set. So it's the only payment gateway I have, so I don't need to change anything. I make sure I select terms and conditions, then I click on Place Order, and now I'll have the Pay Start pop-up. From here, users can use mobile money or card. I'm going to demonstrate with card, so I select it, and I'm going to use any of these cards. So I'll select Success Visa, then I click on Pay. You see that payment is successful, and then I'll be redirected to the thank you page. Awesome, thank you, your order has been received. So as a customer, I'll receive a message with regards to this order, and then the owner of the website will also receive a message with regards to the order. Now let's see how we can fulfill the order when they begin to come in. So I go back to the back end of my website, then I click on Orders. I have the order here, which is sales processing. I'll just click on the customer, then I'll see everything related to the order. And you see that these are the various files the customer has uploaded. So if I want to download it, this is the Word document. I'll just click on it, and it will be downloaded into my downloads folder. Then the images, if I want to download any of them, I'll just click on it. Then that one will have to open up like this. I just right click, click on Save Image As. Then I can take it to whichever folder I want and click on Save. It is saved. I can go back and do the same thing for the rest of the images. So what we want to do is take the information we have downloaded, then we send it to the one who is going to design the thumbnails on Fiverr. Then if everything is set and we receive the designs from the designer from Fiverr, we then send it to the buyer through their email. So if everything is set and they are satisfied, then we can go ahead and set the status from processing to completed, then click on Update. And that's how we fulfill the orders when they begin to come in. So having finished designing your website, there are other ways through which you can make more money from your website. That is by using email marketing and also by running adverts. I'll be making related tutorials on this on my future videos. So that's it on how you can make a drop servicing website using WordPress. And I hope you found value in the tutorial. If you did, kindly click on the like button, subscribe if you are new here, and enable the notification bell so that you don't miss my future videos. In the meantime, stick around to watch another video from the channel. Keep watching, and I will see you in the next video.